Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at my newest custom, which is an original character for one of my customers who had an original character done a little while ago. That he was the customer that had the Fallen Angel character done. That was the idea behind that. Was it was supposed to be like a video game boss, and then we were going to make a second one that would be like the second stage of the boss fight type of thing, and that's what this is. So if you want to check out that original custom, you can click that link in the top right corner right there. So yeah, this is going to be like the evolution of that character, as if you had beaten him once and then he comes back to continue fighting, and now this is what you have to fight now. That type of thing. If you're a video game fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, then hopefully I've explained it well enough. So let's go ahead and get this guy off the stand and I can talk about what I did a little bit. Okay, so obviously this guy is built on the Build-A-Figure Goblin base. My customer really liked that base and it suited the project that we were working on, so he said let's go ahead and use that. And so then I just went ahead and started sculpting all over the place. I gave him all kinds of armor and stuff. It's supposed to look more cobbled together rather than like proper armor in the original figure. Because the original figure, he was still like half angel, half demon, so he still had some of that kind of, I don't know, regalness, regality, I don't know the word, but he was supposed to still look kind of nice. And now in this version, he's got all of this kind of just chunks of armor all over the place, straps holding it together, and just not anywhere near as fancy looking, but still kind of imposing looking. And that's kind of what we were going for. And in the original one, this half of his body had started to turn into the demon. He had the purple skin and the spikes and stuff. So now we've got him fully evolved into the purple character rather than being half regular flesh tone and then half purple. And so I wanted to try to carry through some of the same design aspects with like spikes and things so that it looked like it was still related to the original character. And so he's got some of those things, and some of it's a little bit different, but general armor styling is going to be kind of similar other than the angelic part. And one of the things my customer wanted was to incorporate something that wasn't traditionally an action figure part. I think he referred to it as like scrap or junk or something. He wanted me to do that because he likes doing that with his own artwork. So what I did was I had some molten nickel that had been obviously cool. It's not molten anymore, but it was. And so we've got this like lumpy metallic stuff. And so I decided it might be a good idea to have it like he's got that inside of his body in some capacity, and he's able to shape it into things. And the customer liked that, so we put a lump of the metal in the shoulder, kind of like it's bubbling out of his shoulder, and then he's also got the stainless steel blade down here coming out of the forearm, kind of like Baraka from Mortal Kombat or something like that. So I was able to incorporate those things, which are not traditionally action figure parts, into the figure for him, and he was real happy about that. And we also put some chains, like he wanted a kind of like a chain cape, so we have some chains dangling off the back of these spiky things back here, which just look kind of demonic, and that's how it goes. So I also put some blood on the end of this, so it looks like he's recently stabbed or slashed somebody with some blood spatter going off of that. All of the skin is dry brushed purple on top of black, and it's got kind of like a leathery look to it because I didn't want it to just look like normal flesh. I wanted it to look kind of monstrous. And then we have the like bone spikes coming out of the arm here, which happened to line up perfectly with the design that we were going for anyway, so it was really convenient that they were on this character. I just had to remove them all from this side. And so those are painted. They had black under them originally, but then I painted them with like a kind of a beige color and then a darker brown type of wash on top of that. Same thing for these horns that I sculpted up here. We didn't want to use the horns that were on the original character, so I came up with something that looked a little bit more unique, so we did that, and he's got the same kind of paint job for the claws. The horns here on the head, because when you're sculpting stuff, it's often very fragile. If I had just sculpted this, it'd be very easy to break it off, so I actually inserted a piece of metal into the head and shaped it for the horn and then sculpted around that. And that's how that worked. So I did for the spikes something kind of similar, not completely, but if you're going to just glue spikes onto something, they're going to pop off very easily. If I bump it or something, it could easily come off if I just glued them on or sculpted them on. So what I did was I actually carved out a hole behind each one of the spikes, and so the spike that you see on the top is actually, it has almost the same amount of plastic going inside the figure. So these guys are all very sturdy. These ones are a little bit flexible just because they're bigger. I didn't want them to be quite so not really dangerous, but they have they're softer plastic, so you can kind of flex them if you need to, but they're not going to come off. You could pick the figure up by that if you wanted to. Same thing for the blade I put in the arm. It actually goes down into the arm. I kind of inserted it like that and then sculpted around it. You can see the flesh is sculpted up around the blade, so it looks like it's actually kind of piercing the flesh like on Wolverine, kind of, something like that. And then the same thing is true of these guys. These guys are obviously very big and would be easy to knock off if you weren't careful about that. So they actually go down into the body quite a ways before they're actually sculpted on top of. So you can actually pick them up and move them around, and nothing's going to break off on this guy. So it was just a whole bunch of sculpt work and paint work. There's some gold on there that was dry brushed on top of black, some gunmetal that was dry brushed on top of black, and then we have the little bits of silver popping out. And then the face, I didn't do much to the face because it was obviously looks like a demon already. So I just gave him this kind of weird, kind of ugly helmet, which kind of has some of the same attributes as the original helmet, but obviously it's different because he's the now demon form of this guy. So there it is, guys. That's the original character for my customer who has started to build an original character collection. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. Make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss any of those. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and in the meantime, keep collecting.